So we're going to drain the oil here now, so we can start with tear down. Not very warm. Black as black as black as black. Oh.
Very old oil.
No, not old, just
A lot of carbon.
filled with exhaust. But there was probably barely 2 liters in there, so I definitely needed oil.
You didn't check it?
No, I didn't. I just knew the oil pressure was reading lower.
What's that?
I just knew the oil pressure was reading low, so
Yeah, that's what I said on the phone. I just didn't know how low it
I
was.
didn't bother with putting any in it. There was no point until we drain it out. So we can just let that drain to its heart content, basically. Oh. It's basically grease on the top of the drain plug.
You've never drained a Case-O-Matic?
The only thing I did way back was drain a little bit out of the bottom to see if it had coolant or water or dirt or anything in it.
Yeah.
Which there wasn't any. I'm assuming this is a magnetic plug, but I don't know for a fact.
It's pretty old.
So we'll just leave that sitting there actually. Wash my finger in the oil. And then we'll just let that drain. So we're going to start dig into the tear down here. I'm going to get the coolant draining first so that can take forever while we get sheet metal off, and hopefully we can actually start to see the engine of this thing. So I'm going to get that going first. I don't know if you want to find some tools to start undoing the sheet metal, Mitchell.
So, now you guys can see the engine here. Hopefully I can get that camera set up so you can see us as we pull the valve cover and the head off a little later. Then over here, still dumping coolant by the looks of it.
Yeah, I don't remember how many liters it holds. But...
Very slow process. And there's the exhaust.
Yeah, that's all gonna have to come off of there somehow.
So should the camera come over here then?
Nothing saying we're gonna do it right now. I'm not sure what
Okay.
next. I think I'd like to get this piece off of here. Disconnect that by such a good thing.
So still more sheet metal to remove.
debating whether I'm just gonna remove this block heater altogether.
Have you ever used a block heater?
No. The gas engine shouldn't need it, usually, but you never know, I guess. I turned the fuel off first, that should be fine. Move the wiring so it can come off, I guess. Because we'll probably need to get the alternator and everything out of the way to be able to take the cylinder head off, so need 7/16 again to get that one. I should have bought a paint marker. You got any ideas for how to mark? I'm just gonna mark number 1 on, or 1 in this case,
Yeah,
on
just
there.
write a
and-
1, a 2, a 3.
So yeah, I need something to write it with is the problem.
Yeah, but sure. I need a spark plug screw.
Soon, but not yet. I'm not too worried about that just yet. We gotta get the coil and everything out of the way so we can do valve covers the first thing. So that's gonna be at least 9/16, I think. Yeah. Alright, so after the scary part,
Valve cover.
to see if there's a lot of damage underneath here. So those are 9/16 as well, I believe. That's not gonna work.
You know, long one. Are you hoping it looks like all nice and pretty down there?
I'm thinking it should be fairly... I wish I could see if that was doing what it's supposed to be doing. I'm gonna twist the stud out of that. That's good. That one's not good, but it's not a big deal, I guess. And this one, I can go back on afterwards. That's good, okay. There we go.
Yummy. This thing's actually off the spring.
Well, frick.
That's probably why it wasn't running.
That's part of the problem. That's cylinder number 2. So yeah, that one's off too. Look down here. Well,
Are you sure you weren't running on 2 cylinders?
frick. I don't know. Maybe.
Here, I'll give you guys a closer look at this.
It definitely wasn't running well.
So on cylinder number 2 here, you can see that the valve spring is disconnected from the push rod. That's what I'm gathering from that.
That's the valve itself, right?
Yeah.
So this is.
Oh, there is no push rods on this
The
thing.
push rods are over here.
Okay.
Push rods are on this side. Valves and valve springs down that side. So it's only an 8 valve, which is normal.
And that one is also not seated.
I'm looking at the giant
This side
chunks of
is
shale in here.
very, very crusty.
Yeah, so just leave it there for now. I want to take pictures and then we'll probably just put all that into a garbage can. So I don't know, like, is that from here maybe? That must be from the valve cover. Not really. I'm a little bit concerned where all the shale came from. Because there shouldn't be rust shale inside the engine.
I guess this old gasket can come off.
Yes, it can come off there. Try not to hurt it. We do have a new one, but still.
You're not going to want to reuse this.
No.
It's pretty,
And so let me put it on this side with the valve cover, I guess. Oops. That's the way it goes. Alright, so yeah, let's pull some more stuff off this side. And then we can go over there and tackle the exhaust, which is not going to be a good time. Probably need a torch, which we can roll a mobile torch cart up here if we need it. So alternator. Thermostat housing. Somebody please tell me how you do a gear clamp in there. With a combination wrench, I guess.
How was that done? You a comment?
With a combination wrench and lots of time. Because you can only get a 12th of a turn at once.
I guess with a ratchet wrench it might be easier if it ratchets.
Yeah, just if it doesn't have enough resistance, it's not going to do that, eh? So there shouldn't be any coolant come pouring out of here now, I wouldn't think.
Yeah, it's got a bottle and a half, so.
Yeah, it's about 6 liters, right? Yeah, pretty much.
There's still a little bit coming out of it slowly.
Come on, there we go. Oh yeah. Oh. What? The tube is like half
Crunched.
closed over with rust shale.
Would you look at that?
Oh, would you look at that?
Half crunched.
Half crunched. And then I can take. Do it to 5/16. Okay, yeah, good. So grab the coolant pan over there, another black one. This part, not empty. And probably hold it up here. Yeah, hold it. There we go.
Yeah, I think most of it ended up on the floor.
Yeah, that's okay. This one's got lots of rust in it, so that's always good. I don't know why that's still draining so much. Apparently that front drain does not drain all of the block.
Well, it was like the BMW too, where there was still a bunch in it even after you drained the block in.
You can't get it all, unfortunately. All right. Jeez.
Wow.
There's just like sludge coming out of this now. Okay, so here, let me take. Here we go. Good. Yeah. So, what's next? I don't think there's any point in touching any of this because it's below the cylinder head. So I guess the next thing probably is the exhaust manifold and intake manifold and carburetor and all that junk. So, things like fuel line and carburetor might as well come off. And I don't know if we're gonna have any luck on doing those without a torch. And again, if we break them off, it's gonna be more of a pain in the butt than it's worth. The studs, I don't know, they don't look horrible, but I guess we'll see. A lot of it's soaked in oil, which will help. Okay, so I'm gonna try and get the fuel off of here, I guess, which is probably gonna dump. So do we have any containers? What's in that yogurt container on the table there? Here. Anything in there?
No, it's empty.
So we can use that to catch whatever gasoline is in the line from the tank here. linkage to do. The carburetor should be able to come off here shortly. Alright, so, oh good, it's only got one bolt holding the intake manifold to the exhaust manifold, that's good. The stuff you find that was done by hack farmers in the past.
Well, they don't have time to sit and work on it for 2 days. They got corn to...
Well, and most of the stuff they're doing out in the field too, right? So, yeah, is that also 9/16? Yes. Will it undo? I don't know. Pro tip, don't just get on your bolt and turn it till it snaps off. Especially if it's to do with an exhaust manifold, you don't twist it off right away. Yep, corrosion.
And it's actually in pretty good shape considering its age,
Which,
the exhaust manifold.
yeah, and I don't know, it's probably not the original one, or it might have been a part before. These bolts there and that bolt are new. These ones haven't been touched in a while. This bolt I'm taking out is not original, it's fairly new. That's why I was able to undo it probably. So I'm thinking we'll take the intake manifold off and get it out of the way first, and then fight with the exhaust manifold. Yeah, don't take it too far away because it can go back in there once we get the intake off. The intake manifold should be no problem, I think.
It's just getting to the bolt.
We don't need the compensating for something extension, but we do need a 3-inch extension at least. Should be front left or right. Yeah, there you go.
For viewers just turning in, the compensating for something extension is a 14-inch extension?
Oh, it's more than that, I think.
Anyway, when we did the plastic coolant hoses on BMW, to get one of the intake manifold bolts, that used that long extension and a bunch of other ones to reach it.
Yeah, we had like 30 inches of extension.
And I decided to name it the compensating for something extension because it is so much longer than all the other ones.
Really good coarse thread into the block and fine thread on the nuts.
Here it comes.
Got it?
I got it.
So yeah, all it does is transfer heat from this surface to that surface to help heat the intake.
Those gaskets are done.
That's that. And this one doesn't even have the web in the middle. Maybe it's stuck over there, but you get your four intake ports side by side, 2 and 2, and then exhaust, 2 in the middle and exhaust.
So where should we put this?
I can just put it underneath the tractor here probably.
There's a bolt hanging out the bottom.
All right, because it threads into that part. I'll just put it under here for now somewhere.
Well, that actually came off without too much trouble.
What's that?
That came off without too much trouble.
No, I was expecting to be a lot harder. Now we're going to get to the hard one now, which is the exhaust. And that one you can't even get a socket on the nut. This one will be no problem because it's soaked in oil, but you also can't get a socket on the nut.
If you put an extension on it.
And I'll take a look at where it is. Maybe a universal joint.
I guess we should probably. That one is back there.
Behind the exhaust tube. So
yeah, we'll probably have to use a So it's just a
Let me
wrench.
just see if I can get it cracked loose first, yeah, and then we might have to use the universal that's in the side over there.
You make sure that's still focused too.
Oh dear. There we go. Alright, this one's soaked in oil, so I'm not too concerned, other than I still can't get a wrench on it's loose. Yeah, can't believe that's actually that loose. So, wasn't making a seal there. I'm pretty sure I've got new exhaust manifold gaskets and new intake manifold gaskets. And there should be new valve cover gasket, new head gasket, and new oil pan gasket. Should have pretty much everything we need.
Unless we need to bore the.
Well, if we gotta bore the cylinder out, then we have to separate the tractor here, roll the axle out into the yard, and then take the engine block out of it.
Bolt down.
Yeah, there's only 2 more, but both of them are very rusty. So what we should probably do is,
We'll spray some WD on.
yeah, we should put some something on it for sure.
Alright, so,
It's not looking too good, we might still need the torch, but.
so we will cut here and do that and then come back.